Hey everyone, we're here at the ASC Tournament Coaches Show with Hardin-Simmons women's soccer head coach Rusty Oglesby in his first year. Coach, coming in, it's your first year. What have you seen in the team this year that just makes them unique to you or something that just makes them stand out?
I've always wanted to be involved in the women's soccer program here. Being a graduate back in the 90s, we started seeing the growth and the change. And so coming back in here to coach at an alma mater is, number one, incredible. And number two, inheriting a group of girls like we have that are just so culture driven, right? They literally joke that it's not about the coach, it's about the culture. And they've not proven that to be anything but exactly the truth. And so watching these girls come to work every day, do the little things that they do, the standards that they hold each other to. There's times I'm like, hey, it's okay to not be quite so over the top on certain things. We've had to find a balance. But it's really impressive to watch the uniqueness of the team. They really, truly are different than any team I've ever coached. And it's just been really exciting to see how they have allowed me to put my mark on things, but at the same time brought me up to the same standard they want to be held at.
That's awesome. And like you said, you're coming off of Sweet 16 and it's your first year. There's a lot of expectations there, and obviously the Cowgirl program. What was that like coming in?
Yeah, I think, getting a pulse on it when I first got here in January was just, what are we about? What is this really? I hear culture, but what kind of culture? Are we a cult versus a culture, right? What mentality is it really? And that's where we lean so heavily on these seniors. We have 9 seniors, and a couple of those are, 3 or 4 of those are fifth years. And I think it says a lot. When you have a head coaching change following a Sweet 16 that was so sudden to them, and then suddenly those fifth years decided to come back and stay, and those fifth years are all starters and contributors. It's not like they're just hanging around for the chicken fried steak, right? They're really here to be a part of this. And so watching these girls come in every day as those leaders, and they're beat up, and they could be going on with their life in chiropractic school and PT school, and instead they're like, all we want to do is go fight for another championship and another ring. That's been the coolest motivation for me, is to make sure that every day I bring it so that those girls aren't disappointed in what their choice was to come back and play as a fifth year.
That's awesome. And again, with this program, they've had Coach Woody, and then you go into we get Lance Key,
Sure.
And now we got you.
Sure.
These kids, they really don't know how lucky they are to have you, man. And we are glad you're back.
Well, it's been awesome. I always dreamed it would be this cool, and then they've just kind of taken it and risen up to another level of expectation. And so now it's, how do we keep that standard, right? How do we keep going? And that was the one thing when I got the job, I didn't want to mess anything up that Lance had done in the last 18 months. They were just starting to get used to him, and yet at the same time, we wanted to really continue with this massive history that was created by Woody through all those years and those great teams that he had. And it's helped having like Caitlin Floyd being on our coaching staff, who was an All-American goalkeeper. And so when she's out there talking to our goalkeepers, and when there's questions that I might have about the program from years back, she can fill in those gaps for us. That's really impressive, and that shows just this dedication that these girls have. The alumni that come back and talk to us and everything is just it's incredible to watch it happen.
It's that Cowgirl soccer legacy.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Well, we don't want to get ahead of ourselves, or we don't want you to give away all your secrets. But what do the Cowgirls have to do this weekend to?
Man, I'd love to say just the same old, same old. But you and I both know that there's an old saying: you either get better or you get worse. You never stay the same. Our girls have to get better. We saw some things that we just didn't. We know we have a goal of something that's greater and bigger than anything that we're even trying to accomplish this weekend. And in order to do that, we have to prepare for what that looks like 3 weeks down the road, and then incorporate it in what we're trying to accomplish this weekend. It's been a unique season. Typically in the past, you've always been able to play everybody one time, and then you show up at the tournament and you're kind of catching them again. Playing this old high school type schedule, we've played everybody twice. I mean, we're going in tomorrow to play ETBU for a third time. We're playing either Howard Payne or Mary Hardin Baylor on Saturday for a third time. It's brutal and it's grinding, and so we have to be better. We know that people are going to always give us their best. We've seen that time and time again, and we know that if we don't make some changes and make adjustments, we're going to struggle. And at the same time, we're not like anybody else. We have nicks here and knocks there, and a couple of tweaks that we have on some injuries that we have to fight through, and we pray our depth continues to grow. I told the girls this morning, not always the greatest team wins the national championship. It's the one that's most healthy in the last game. And so it's keeping everybody healthy, feeding our bodies properly, getting the right amount of rest. Soccer is soccer. It's just about all the other things that can be the distractions right now. And so we just got to be better.
Cowgirls getting better every day. Once again, I want to say thanks to Coach Rusty Oglesby. Cowgirls will be at the ASC Championship Tournament beginning on Thursday at 10 a.m. at the HSU Soccer Complex. Thank you guys, and we'll see you there.